Yes, people. What's going on? CL Talks Football. We're back again with another video. This is going to be a little bit of a different video, but we're not going to have the regulars on today as Rack is busy, Vader's busy, but I'm still going to do the show. We're still going to have a good panel. We're still going to have a good discussion. Don't worry, guys. As always, before we go any further, though, please do hit that like button. Please do hit that subscribe button on your way into the video. And we got a lot to discuss. We got a lot to discuss today, as always. First thing we're going to have to discuss is Arsenal dropping points to Brentford. But what does it actually mean in the grand scheme of things? Because Gary Neville came up with the conclusion that it means Arsenal have gone backwards. And that's why that's in the title of the video. Chelsea also choked versus Ipswich. The top four race heats up as Nottingham Forest drop points. Man City win. Newcastle win. Aston Villa, did they drop points if I'm not mistaken? Aston Villa dropped. No. Villa won. 1 second. Let me double check. I forget. Did Aston Villa win or did they drop points? Aston Villa won 3-0. What am I talking about? Sorry. So yeah, Aston Villa won 3-0. I just remember Ramsdale saving a couple of penalties. Since when did he start saving penalties? Same old Tottenham getting slapped around by Wolves. It seems like Wolves always beat the Tottenham. And then Mo Salah, 45 GA. Crazy. But yeah, Liverpool look like they're going to walk the league and they're going to win it next week. But yeah, before we go any further, please do hit that like button. Please do hit that subscribe button. We need an Odegaard debate. Villa won. Yeah. I did a whole video on Martin Odegaard earlier. If you didn't see, go check it out. But first guest on today's show is the man, the myth, the legend. Wolfie's in the building. Wolfie, how you doing, man?
I'm good, bro. How are you? How are you?
Mashallah, I'm blessed. You know what? So before these guys come, you're not going to get stick. Let's talk about your club. What the hell happened?
For my club?
Yeah. In case you guys don't know, he's a Nottingham Forest.
We lost, bro. We lost. I mean, you know.
How'd you lose to Everton?
Bro, did you beat Everton?
Oh, we drew.
Okay. And you've got them away?
Did we draw both games? No, we beat them at home, didn't we?
No, you drew at the Emirates with Everton.
Okay, so we drew both games against them.
All right, so I've taken 3 points off them. You've taken 2, bro. Like, what are we saying here?
Nah, but right now you need the 3 points. Like
we needed any points, man. It was our worst performance of the season. It was terrible. Nothing's really changed, man. The gap's got closer, but we do have some easy games. We should do this.
Aren't you hearing this every day now? The last couple of weeks, like I've been hearing this a lot from you. It's our worst performance. It's our worst performance. It's our worst performance.
We only lost 2 games, man. Like we were winning
worse. What?
No, this one was bad, man. This one was bad. This was like, I think everyone expected, or should I say, as in the team expected Everton to turn up on the beach, relaxed, beach towels down.
Were you at home too?
Yeah, we're at home. Yeah. It was a stinker from Murillo, man. 95th minute.
Who's injured that you're missing? Like, what happened?
Aina's injured. That's about it.
He's been injured for a minute, though. You can't be down to just him. He was
not, man. It was lazy, bro. It was lazy. It was just pure laziness. Pure laziness. Bad tactics as well. But I think we're still fine.
You're scared, eh?
No.
You're not scared of top 4? You're looking around. Teams around you are
I still think we'll take you. I think we should have already been level on points with you if we hadn't decided to bozo up the last 2 games. And there's still plenty. You still got to play Liverpool and Newcastle, whereas my hardest game is Chelsea at home on the final day.
I think you need to worry about Man City, Chelsea, Newcastle, Aston Villa.
Why would I worry about Chelsea, bro?
Because those are the teams that are currently fighting.
Have you seen Chelsea's run? Have you seen Chelsea's run?
Those are the teams that are fighting for top 5.
Stop. Look at Chelsea's run right now. Look at it. Have a quick look at it. Load it up.
I know Chelsea's run. 1 second. I know Chelsea's run, but I'm looking at your performances. I'm only looking at you right now. Forget about everybody else's performances and their teams. Wolfie, I get Chelsea are not that good. I don't think they're going to make it myself. But you have 3 spots. You have 3 spots where you can get the Champions League spots, right? 3 spots available.
The only ones that worry me are Newcastle, but I've been worried about Newcastle since day 1. That's it. And like, if Newcastle overtake us, they'll probably overtake you. Like, that's the kind of form Newcastle are in. Man City, Villa and all these men, they have to play each other. That's the problem they've got. They're going to take points off each other. So Forest need 2 wins and a draw. And we have Leicester coming up at home in a couple of weeks. So that's a free win. So we need to find 1 win. We got Spurs away next, bro. Spurs, who just lost to
Don't
Wolves
disrespect any
4-2.
opponent, bro. With your performances as of late, you should not be.
What performances as of late, bro? What are you talking
No, I
about?
mean your bad performances.
Which ones? Which ones?
The last
Talking
2
about?
games, did you not drop points?
Okay, so Villa, we played bad in the first half and we were better than them in the second half. Yeah. And then Everton were the better team, but it wasn't like we were playing, I don't know, a Barcelona, man. They were just the better team on the day. So you're talking about 1.5 games of bad performances. That's it, man.
But that's how Everton play. If anybody knows Everton, they're going to make it extremely difficult. They're going to buckle down and they're not going to give you any chances. And if they nick a goal, game done. Night.
Exactly. And that's what happened. It's
That's
got
how
nothing, it had nothing to do with what Forest did. It had to do with how well Everton did. You know what I'm
No,
saying?
but Forrest, didn't you guys have enough chances to finish off the game?
No. Everton's defense rock solid, bro. They're like monsters back there. They're monsters. They drew, I'm pretty sure it's 0-0 with you at the Emirates, yeah?
Yeah.
And they scored in the 95th minute against us because Murillo decided not to clear the ball. He just stood on the ball and waited. So it is what it is. I ain't worried, bro. Bro, after seeing Chelsea today, I'm not worried.
Yeah, we're going to talk about Chelsea in a bit. You know, some people in the comment section were talking about we need an Odegaard debate. We'll get on to Odegaard in a second. But let me ask you a question. You seen Man City want your boy, Gibbs-White. What you saying? You saying sell him, get rid of him?
If they want to give me 100 mil for him, I'll drive him up there.
Say word, that's what the offer is?
No, that's the price tag Forest put on him to sell.
100 million price tag on Florian. Bro, Florian Wirtz is cheaper. Why would they go for Morgan Gibbs-White for that kind of money?
I think he's going to where's he going? He's going Bayern, isn't he? I think that's pretty much.
There's no chance you spend 100 million on Gibbs-White.
If they want to give me 80, I'll take it.
You think Gibbs-White is on the level of like Morgan Rogers or
I haven't said
Xavi Simons or what do you call it? These kind of guys.
No, he can't. Gibbs-White is very good, but he can't shoot. No, he's not on their level.
There's no chance Man City spending that kind of money on him.
I mean, they did it on Grealish, didn't they?
They need to spend money. They need to spend money. Like Man City, they're doing okay, but there's no chance they're gonna spend that kind of money on him.
No, if it's serious, it will probably go to about 80 mil. 80 mil will get it over the line, I think.
80 mil.
Yeah. 80 mil would be a reasonable price, I think. But I don't think he'll go.
I don't think he'll go either, man. I think especially if you guys get Champions League football, he's going to be staying around. You're going to be solid. You're really down, though. I get it. You 2 back-to-back defeats really got you down. But Wolfie, you're one guy who gave a lot of smoke, so you got to be prepared for if you don't get Champions League football, you know.
Yeah, if buts and maybes, bro. You still need to get a few more points on the board. What are you sitting on? 62, 63.
60 whatever, it doesn't really matter. I'm still 4 points ahead of you, and I don't think anyone.
Yeah, but it does matter, bro. It does matter.
I don't think anyone's catching Arsenal. It's just
no, but it does. I'll tell you why it matters, right? Because you guys are saying it doesn't matter now, yeah, because of the Champions League, correct?
Yeah.
So if you don't go and win the Champions League with these it doesn't matter results that all the Arsenal fans are saying it doesn't matter, should they have mattered? You get me?
Bro, if we get knocked out of the Champions League, we'll focus on the last couple of games of the season, right? To
what end?
Like we'll try to win, but understand we're playing Ipswich next. I expect us to get a win. We play Crystal Palace next. I expect us to get a win. Bournemouth at home, I expect us to get a win. Liverpool away, I think we're going to put out a really good side for that game to try to take it to them.
If you go through past Real, yeah, when's the next tie?
I don't know. I need to see it once
Let me have a
it
look.
comes out. I really don't know what the breakdown is going to be and how it's going to work, but we're going to have to figure it out.
I think that's
Yo,
something you need to
Chelsea
take
fans are
into
actually Maresca
consideration.
out. Daniel, since when did you become Maresca out? I'm confused. When did that happen?
All right, it's 29th of April, bro. 29th of April, and then the final's 31st of May, right? So 29th of April, you would be playing. That might not fall too bad for you, you know. Southampton the week before. Shit. Oh, no, sorry, I'm looking at the wrong one. 29th of April. That'll be in between.
So you're telling me
Arsenal.
the Chelsea fans flopped, the Man United fan flopped, and the Spurs fans flopped. All three of them are being late right now. That's crazy, you know. That's
Wait, what?
crazy. Because I'm like, this is supposed to be a 6-man panel. I'm like, where
Where are they, man? I turned up. up.
You lost and you turned up. It seems like they don't care.
You didn't win. You turned up.
Fair. Let's talk about Arsenal then. Well, we're gonna save Chelsea for later when the Chelsea fan comes.
We need to cook Chelsea. Chelsea need a cooking, man.
Haven't been on here in 2 years, lol. Daniel, what's going on, man? Hope you're doing well. Hope everything's blessed. Nice to see you back on the chat, man. Honestly, man. We've had a lot of squabbles in the past, but it's nice to see you're back and everything's good with you, man. Nice to see you. Eagle and Wolfie always show up. Yeah, man, 100%. Eagle, salty. You never walk alone. You know what? Liverpool fans, what do you want? You're gonna win the league. Now you're just rubbing it in. Nobody's salty. You guys won the league. Fair play. Stop all this stuff. Everything.
You know what, bro? On this Liverpool stuff, right? I genuinely didn't know they played today. You know what I mean? No, yeah. No one's bothered. Are you bothered? Did you sit there and watch the Liverpool game today against West Ham?
The league is
West Ham they had?
The league is done. You know, Liverpool.
And
they officially win the league next week when they
Liverpool at the moment. If you notice, the fan base, what they're trying to do is they're trying to trigger people into talking about Liverpool because no one's talking about Liverpool. And I've used this example before, but I don't know if you agree with me. Liverpool right now remind me of Verstappen in Formula 1 2 seasons ago, where he was like 400 points clear after like 10 races. And then, you know, when you're watching a Formula 1 race, they never show him until he crosses the finish line. The rest of the race, they're showing who's second, who's crashed and whatever. That's Liverpool now. And Liverpool fans don't like it that no one's talking about them. So they're trying to make people have conversation. Oh, Miguel, you're salty about Liverpool. Oh, you know, validate us, and what have you. It's done. Be happy with your title, right? But there's no point in anyone wasting their breath on Liverpool. Well done. Congratulations on winning your title. But there are more interesting fights developing. It's more interesting to talk about what Arsenal are going to do in the Champions League. The top 5 race. Will Manchester United finish 17th? Is more interesting than talking about Liverpool right now. So
let's be honest. Liverpool are about to win the league, but there's still going to be more talks about Spurs sacking Ange, Ruben Amorim struggling, Chelsea dropping points, Arsenal focusing on the Champions League, and there's even going to probably be more people talking about all the clubs like Newcastle and stuff than Liverpool right now. The Salah's new contract was not a secret. Everyone knew it was happening. We all knew it was going to happen. You knew it, right?
No one really cared though. Do you know what I mean? Like, I wasn't that bothered. Salah will end up having another good year, and then probably the year after he gets injuries and what have you, and they're still paying him 400 grand a week. Like, for me, if I'm a Liverpool fan, I'm not worried about Salah signing or not. I'm worried about who's going to replace him. And will they project managers well enough, or are they going to wait till he goes and then think, oh no, we need to replace him? And the same with Van Dijk.
Bro, they're going to win the league this year, but there's no guarantee next year. Especially they need to future-proof the club and find some solutions for how they're going to create. This title race was not a title race. Daniel's saying it's a title race. There was no title race, bro. Let's be honest. Liverpool ran away with it. They ran away with it, and yeah, right. Rivals.
I don't think they ran away with it, right? I think no one did their part to make Liverpool challenged. Because when you look, and I can't really bother to talk about Liverpool. We've probably talked too much about them now. But if you look at it, when Liverpool came under precious games this season, they lost to Newcastle in the final. They lost to PSG. Okay, in the Premier League, they never really came across a pressure moment. So we still don't know if Slots is pressure proof. You know what I'm saying? In a real situation. Because the two instances that it's happened, he has shown that he wasn't up for it. So we need to see, and that's not his fault, by the way. That's the fault of Arsenal, Man City, Forest, etc., for not pressing on him, right?
Do you think this is the worst league though? I don't like that theory. I think it's a really good league with the
No,
likes of you, Newcastle, Aston Villa all stepping up. The quality of the league is better.
I agree with that, obviously. But the thing is, people say that and then forget that 3 years ago, whatever it was, you had Man City, the Centurions League. Yeah. Man City have won it 4 out of the last 5 seasons. Are people saying they want it to go back to that where you're guaranteed, Man City are going to win the league and every now and again you'll chuck in a Chelsea or a Liverpool? Or do you want a bit more competition? The fact is, the reason that this league was better this season is because Arsenal could have gone to, I don't know, an Ipswich and potentially have dropped points. Maybe not an Ipswich, but you can say anywhere down 17th, like a Wolves or a West Ham, and drop points. That's the thing. Whereas Liverpool were more consistent against the teams that other teams struggled against, a Bournemouth, a Brighton, or whatever. So I think it's more competitive the longer you go down the league. But I think the gap to the bottom 3 is cataclysmic right now, bro. Cataclysmic.
I don't know why Liverpool fans keep wanting to go back to a conversation that we had in September. It was in September.
You guys criticized
What I said in September, what I said last year when Klopp left, you guys have proved me wrong. How many times do you want me to say that?
Okay, and also
validation again.
And also, I predicted Liverpool to win the league pre-season. You can go and check my video out on that before the season started. So when you're saying you lads criticized Liverpool, how did I criticize you by saying you would win the league? So again, like Liverpool fans just can't just quietly enjoy their title. They want to make sure that everyone keeps telling them congratulations and enjoy your title. We've done your congratulations, right? We did that about 4 or 5 weeks ago. Move on. There's more important things to talk about than Liverpool. So that's all I'm saying. Yeah, well, if you're saying YouTube in general, bro, then when you say you lads, there's only 2 lads on the screen here, right? So that's what I'm saying. Anyway, should we move on to Arsenal?
Yeah, just before we move on to Arsenal, Mo Salah, bro, unbelievable. 45 GA. 45 GA. Unbelievable.
Did he score today?
He got an assist.
Yeah,
He got an assist. Bro, man's just out here breaking records after records after records. Unbelievable, don't you think?
Yeah, I mean, he needs to. I'd like to see him finish it off towards an end of the season for once. Do you know what I mean? He seems to dry up after almost January time and then starts to slow down on the goal scoring. But what he's done is amazing. As Arab heritage myself, even though he's Egypt's, like whatever, but it's nice to see that. And yeah, I think he'll continue to do it next year. I have no worries about Mohamed Salah in terms of his ability in the Premier League or his longevity. My issue is that I don't see anyone waiting in line from a Liverpool's perspective to take over from him. And I don't think anyone will want to until they know he's gone. So yeah, he's done fantastic, bro. Everyone's talking about, Ballon d'Or this, Ballon d'Or that. I don't really care about Ballon d'Ors.
Sam wants Arsenal to win the Champions League, so Mo Salah can win the Ballon d'Or.
Yeah, well, they're not going to win it, are they?
Hilarious, eh? Yeah. M is in the building, Man United fan. He just faced a massive defeat, and he's still here. Big up, M, man. What are you saying?
Well, what time?
Big up, Sanad. Big up. Guys, honestly, I'm trying to figure out, I've got this new laptop, so I'm trying to figure out like how, for some reason, my mic wasn't working on Kaz's show. So I'm just using my phone.
No worries. All good, bro. Right now, we're just talking about Liverpool and how, bro, Liverpool's about to win the league next weekend, but do you feel like anyone really cares right anymore?
No, I don't care. I know Salah don't care as well because Nottingham Forest are doing extremely well. But I don't really care. Like, bro, like after. All right, Gal, don't judge. But I was watching the game today with my wife, right? And I was trying to, like, educate her on Manchester United being a very successful club and this and that, bro. Like, I just got laughed out. She's like, oh, that meme where it's like what it's like supporting, date a Arsenal fan because he's loyal to that club. So that means no matter what you do, he would always be loyal to you. She was always, showing me those memes. And I was like, bro, that's for Arsenal fans, not Man United fans. But it's tough. So I've got a booking tonight with me and the missus, and we're watching the heritage of Manchester United because
you guys got embarrassed today by Newcastle. You have to show her what the club is about.
Yes.
Oh my God, it's reached that level.
Yes, we sunk to a new low today where I was like, okay, I need to show you why I support this club. Why?
What did you show her? Did you show her the previous one where you lost 5-0 to them? Remember that one? And back in your heritage time. Don't you remember where was it? Albert.
No. The last time they beat us twice. No, the last time they beat us twice in one season was in like the 1930s. And
yeah, but you lost 5-0.
We weren't
I'm
even
sure.
born.
We weren't in the chat. Remember?
Guys, let's bring it back.
No,
Liverpool fans, big up.
Hey, Sanad, you know what? I didn't even know, Habibi. I didn't even know I was in a show with you. But, bro, honestly, I rate you because you keep it real and you don't show. You don't hold punches. You don't hold punches when it comes to other clubs But your punches hurt sometimes. And you're Nottingham Forest.
Stop. Bring it back. I think everyone in the chat, let me know. Don't you want to hear more about this? Because man just came out here and confessed like he had to explain to his missus why Man United is a big club and she was laughing you out the building. Was it because
Hold on? No. The reason why she was laughing, she goes, babe, I want to do like a TikTok. I'm like, what's this TikTok? She showed me Arsenal. She goes, oh, what's it like dating an Arsenal fan? So that's a meme, It's an Arsenal thing, but she tried to use it for a Man United thing. And I was like, no, that's for Arsenal. Like, what's it like? You have to be loyal to support Arsenal. 0 Champions Leagues. Bro, I got the book out and, bro, I got a steel or a pen. Bro, wrote out Premier League, Champions League, FA Cup, and how it works, vice versa. 0, 1, 1. She got it. She was like, okay, well, let's watch the documentary later. So she understands. We're going through a process. We're going through a transition. At the end of the season, we're going to get rid of this manager, hopefully. If not, if he stays, we're going to get 5 more players. She's going to change. But we are a sleeping giant.
About the manager.
No, we are a sleeping giant. Can we agree?
Forget about the manager. Onana. Talk to me about Onana.
I saw 20 minutes, bro. No, he's awful, bro. Do you know what? Like, I'm not one of those people that just say things for like no fucking reason, but I'm very confident that I can be a better goalkeeper than Onana. Like I used to play. Like sometimes when I'm bored, I used to go and goal. And bro, like the gloves are on, cause hey, Sanad, I'm aiming to them top corners. Like, trust me, bro. Like, I'm putting bets on. Like, it's different. This guy is a bum. Like, I can't back it. I hear it because I'm not down for racism, and I'm seeing a lot of racism on his name. But I don't like that.
He's ruined the reputation of black goalkeepers.
Well, yeah. There's not many, is there? Like,
yeah, but why? Why?
You know what it is? I think it's it, bro. You know what it is? Son, it's his physique, bro. Like, how are you like fat and big at the top, and you can't like? You have to be able to stretch, bro. Like, he's just not.
No.
And even on the ball, guys, he's not great. Even on the ball, he's not.
Your boy today looked just as bad.
I watched the video, and I think this perfectly explains what your problem is. Onana at Inter had a great defense in front of him. Onana
No, Gal, don't do that. Gal, don't do that because did you see the goals that he conceded against
let me
the
finish.
Spurs?
Let me finish. You will understand. Let me finish. Onana at Inter, by the way, big up Bice. We got a Chelsea fan in the building also. Onana at Inter had a better defense in front of him. Onana at
Bro, I'm not improvising like no man's.
Onana at what do you call it? Juventus, not Juventus, at fucking Ajax had a team that could play football. Man United can't play football and they can't defend. What the fuck do you want him to do? The two things he's good at.
A gal. You know I love you, right? You know I've got so much love for you, bro. It's nothing personal. But Onana is not a very good goalkeeper, let alone football player. Like, you do not understand. Like, I'm not trying to turn this into something. He is his fundamentals are very bad. Yeah. We bought him because we thought someone who can play out from the back. Bro, This guy can't play out from the back. Like, he can't. He can. Also, his saving, he can't get low.
United, 1 second. He can play out the back, but he has been exposed as a shot stopper. That's the thing.
No. He's no shot stopper. No. Lloris. Drop Lloris on the M1 is a better fucking shot stopper than fucking Onana.
No, are you missing what I said? I'm agreeing with you. I said he's not a shot stopper.
He's not a shot stopper. He can't kick.
He can't.
He's not good in the ball. You can't save no shots.
He can't kick, man. His kicking is not good.
He can play with his feet. It's just your team.
What can he do? No, bro. If you can just pass to your centre back or pass to a right, bro. If you can just make a pass, that doesn't make you a good player. Like, bro. Do you know what I look at when I look at Onana? Do you know what I think, bro? Real talk. I think he's a failed striker. They're like, bro, you're big, you're black, like king goal, man. Like, I'm not gonna lie, bro. I think that's just. I'll be real, bro. I think he's a failed striker, bro. I think he was just like, you know what? Like, your shooting's bad, but you're quite big. So just get in goal, bro. He just ran with it. I don't know. Like, he's awful. What do you want me to say?
Would you take De Gea back?
Oh, in a heartbeat, bro.
Yes.
In a heartbeat.
They already gave De Gea a new deal. at Florentino.
No, but that's what I mean. If you used to sit there and tell me, like, you know, this is what you were going to get if you got rid of De Gea, bro. If I could turn back, that's obviously Allah knows it. You don't know, innit?
Nemanja Matic was
You don't know, but a lot of people are talking about Onana in the final, in Inter. Oh, in the final, I'm not scared of Haaland. No man should be scared of another man. I'm like, yo, I like this talk, you know. I like this talk. Bro, the talk's just turned into a bag of air.
Bro, what happened to the talk today?
Right now, big up Mantis, Liverpool fan, 20 times playing football the slot way. Wow.
Okay. I don't know what that's
focus, man.
They took your
bro, it's dark. But guess what, bro? No, I'm gonna be real, it's dark, but we're like, let's not forget, like 30 years, bro. Like, relax, bro. So I'm personal, but listen, I'm not taking, like I said, I have my own wife trying to. Cause hey, listen, bro, I'm ready to go rounds with anyone tonight. I've got another show after this on the football locker room, so I've been back.
Can I ask you about your keeper today, bro? What are you saying about?
Wait. Would you rather have Robert Sanchez over Onana? Is that what you just said?
I said I'll give him Robert Sanchez. Oh, come on, take that.
What, you rate Onana? Bro, where you from, bro? Where you from? How you? Wait,
I'll give away Robert Sanchez right now and just go the season goalless, and I'll still concede.
Onana's made, like, even last year in the Champions League, he cost us the Champions League, and now he's about to cost us the Europa League. So it's quite big. I think on the ball, Onana's not as bad as Robert Sanchez. He's not as bad, but I still rate Sanchez over Onana. Okay. Maybe saving that.
Pass the ball to an Ipswich player again today.
Who's the worst in the league? Robert Sanchez or Onana?
Onana, but Sanchez is not a far second.
It's crazy how Kepa is better.
West of the league's quite tough, man. I gotta go through I gotta dissect every goalkeeper, bro. Like, I can't just dive in there.
Man United does a thing where players go there and it exposes all their weaknesses. Do you know
why, Gal? because
virus.
it's the biggest club in the world. That's
It's a
why.
virus, bro.
Onana.
That's why.
Like what?
Onana. Bro, why
No,
do you
no.
rate this fucking goalkeeper?
No,
Like, honestly, like, what's he done?
I think Onana at Inter and at Ajax showed when he has a team that's playing with a good system.
Wait. Did you see the goals that he conceded against Tottenham in the Champions League?
I think Ederson at Man United, Ederson at Man City would get exposed in a team that faces as many shots as Man United.
No. We're not doing that. We're not doing that. We're not doing
Ederson
that.
is as bad as Onana. Ederson, in my
Again, I
opinion,
already said to you, bro, I can be a better goalkeeper than Onana. If you just put me in goal and let me train for like 2-3 weeks, I can do it, bro. Like Onana, bro, he's not making no saves. Bro, you don't watch Man United enough. You don't.
Now, Marwan,
Like,
he does
honestly,
make
bro,
saves.
like, guys,
He
like,
does make saves.
Hey,
Disgusting,
guys,
man. His
I'm trying to
positioning
sell
is
him
disgusting.
on
His
Onana.
okay, so now do me a favor.
Might not be
Okay,
that bad.
But let me finish the statement. He does make saves. What he doesn't do is then parry them out of
He's
danger.
not a
He
good
puts them back
goalkeeper.
into danger, bro. And
He
also
gets
the other thing,
nervous.
but the other thing he does as well is he dives and anticipates too early. I remember the one where we scored against Man U at Old Trafford. Morgan Gibbs-White took a very weak shot from about 25 yards out. He already dove out the way. It was down. It was down the middle.
Yeah, completely.
Oh, you'll agree. It was straight down the middle.
That was the beginning of the season. That's the beginning of the season.
That was about December time, I think, right? He just dove out the way. It was the beginning of when Amarin came in. And it went down the middle, and it wasn't hard hit, man, because he anticipates too early and commits, and then he's got nothing to do.
So not only that, and what you just said is 100% correct, but not only that, like, he has flaws. So, for example, like, as a goalkeeper, you need to be able to back yourself in one attribute. So you have to be strong with the wrist, or be flexible, or like with this guy, I don't know what his strongest attribute is. Do you understand what I'm trying to say, bro?
Can I say one thing? He was on the bench today. You lost 4-1.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
That keeper had a stinker today.
You know what? A gal, that's such a gal comment. I rate it, but it's nothing to do with the goalkeeper. Honestly, like the first 35
goals.
But when is Onana?
The third goal, guys. Honestly, if you watch Man United long enough, do you know what? Look, if you watch Man United long enough, you will understand. Onana makes off the ball. Look, off the ball, bro. Off the ball, he actually did put in some good passes, and he made some decent saves. I'm not saying he's the one to take us to next season or to be the best goalkeeper in the world, but he's definitely better than Onana. That's what I'm saying.
All right, Bice, what are you saying? Talk to me before we move on.
Well, no, I think he's spot on. Onana's just terrible, bro. He's just terrible. I don't care about what system.
I respect that, bro. Thank you, man.
Even some of the goals he was conceding at Inter was just disgusting to see. Like it's the same stuff rearing his head. But guess what? In Italy, they faced less shots, so you're not gonna see, like, you see the same things, but you see them so much more often in the Premier League because guys ain't afraid to shoot when they see him. No one is afraid to shoot at this goalkeeper.
You should have seen him at Lyon in Lyon like fucking 3 days ago, bro.
Look, he's poor. His positioning is disgusting. You know what I'm saying? He's never on his line. He doesn't command his box well. Like,
brother, would you agree? Do you think he's scared? I think he's scared.
There's nothing.
It's like he plays with fear.
He needs to go to a league where guys are shooting.
We're gonna have to move on to Arsenal. Gary Neville said something mad. He said Arsenal have gone backwards this season. And he came out and he basically said statistically they're a worse team than they were last season. They're worse team than they were the year before. Arsenal are just a worse team in every way you look at it, and that's why Liverpool won the league. And
wait, I got. Did he say that exactly?
Let me show you what he said. How about that?
Like, I don't think he said Arsenal was the worst team.
No. He said they're worse this season. And he went on.
What, this is their worst season? What, finishing second and beating Real Madrid 3-0 was their worst season?
Let me show you. Look at this.
It's been compared to the 2 seasons ago. It's definitely
today, but I'm talking about the season in general now under Mikel. They progressed.
I mean, that will depend wholly now on the Champions League. If they win the Champions League, then all will be forgiven. But otherwise, their league performances have been a big letdown. I think that if Manchester City weren't going to win the league, which they've done in the last 4 seasons, Arsenal had to be the team that were there waiting. They're not even on the shoulder of Liverpool to put pressure on them in this last few weeks. Liverpool are going to win it at Cantor. I think that's a big disappointment. And where Arsenal have been in the last couple of seasons, you felt as though they were a team that were growing in Premier League title races and getting better. So what's happened this season, I think they've gone backwards. They've gone backwards, I think, from the start of the season in terms of their recruitment. They never covered...
Well, when you put it in that context...
The injury to Havertz, who was their only centre-forward. He didn't really fancy Jesus as a centre-forward.
He's right, and I don't like him.
Yeah.
First things first. He said a lot of things that are wrong. I need to clear up. Please let me clear up some of the things. Let me one second, guys. Please let me clear up.
When you put it in that context, guys, I believe he's right.
No, but hear me out. He said at the beginning of the season, we started off poorly. We were undefeated for 15 games. What the fuck is he talking about? He said we didn't fancy Jesus. Jesus was injured and then came back, scored 4 goals, and then got injured again. What the hell is he talking about? And then the reason why his whole argument is bullshit.
Hey, broski, I'm gonna let you go because I know you're. I'm gonna let you go, and when you're not done, I'll talk.
The reason why this whole argument is bullshit is because Arsenal.
It's really
he
not.
doesn't even acknowledge any
it's not.
Injuries or any adversity.
It's really not. It's really not.
No, but you guys hear what he's saying? He gets absolutely cooked. Yeah. Listen to this.
We all heard it, ago.
He gets absolutely cooked by the other guy. He gets absolutely destroyed by him.
I like Robbie.
Season on a trot. I know you wanted to go over the line. I think the injuries to key players at different parts of the season has to be considered. And I know in terms of the recruitment, they've got a strong goalkeeper, they've strengthened defensively, they've strengthened in midfield. And yeah, it's kind of accepted that the front line is the last bit and the most important bit to strengthen. To get Jesus and Havertz out for periods of time, Saka, Odegaard earlier in the season, I find it harder to criticise the team in terms of how they've played this season based on those disappointments. Liverpool have been the only team that have had very few injuries. Everybody else has had injury problems. It makes a difference. Man City, with everybody that they've had out injured. And we can go round.
Look at Gary Neville. He's so pissed at the fact that someone's trying to use logic.
Yeah, because it's a pathetic reason to use.
Is he though? Is he?
No, he's really not pissed. Listen, first of all, shout out Robbie. I like that guy. His analysis is always fair.
Robbie,
my thing is saying this. My thing is always saying this, right? When it comes to Arsenal, last season and the season before, they were clearly better than this one. You had this hot start, 15 games undefeated. I get all of that. Thinking about a season with no injuries is poor. That's why in the summer you're supposed to recruit. Coming into the season knowing that Jesus was injured and Kai Havertz being the only centre forward was disgusting. Last season, guys were killing him until around February, March, when he started to go on the hot streak against when he's scoring against the small teams for Chelsea, it's no issue. But when he's scoring for Arsenal and he's scoring, and I get that these goals are winning you games, but let's be real, he was not scoring to start the season. It was looking poor, it was looking bleak. That hot run to end last season, coming into the beginning of this season, is what redeemed that season for him. What I'm saying is this: not strengthening that right wing position to give Saka some rest early. Martin Odegaard got injured on international duty. Can't do it, you know what I mean? That has nothing to do with the club. However, getting in another defensive midfielder, Mikel Merino. Yeah, you're playing him number 9 now, but a defensive midfielder. Got Martinelli. Instead of this, he did this. Nosedive, regressed. It looked like he regressed. The centre forward position, a big area. Defensively, I get that. Timber, those injuries, but they came back and they're doing the job. The issue with how Arsenal have performed outside of that is it's maintaining, keeping that pressure on. If anybody said, Liverpool would have been the challengers outside the City from last season to this one, everybody would have been like, Arsenal, you can't ignore Arsenal, you can't ignore Arsenal. But then it's like when they put themselves in these positions, maybe not the players themselves, but the team, the organization, then you have to acknowledge it.
People like the video. Do me a favor. Let me know in the comment section. Do you believe Arsenal have gone backwards? Personally, I don't think Arsenal have gone backwards. Yeah, I think it's very simple to explain what Gary Neville's doing. He has a one dimension. He's looking at one dimension. He's only looking at the Arsenal's attack not being as good, and the
No, he's not.
and the title race not being. Let me finish. Let me finish, guys. Arsenal. He's looking at Arsenal's attack not being as good, and in the sense of going backwards, our defense is still as elite as it was last season. Our form in the Champions League has been better than it was last season, and we're about to get to a semi-final potentially. When it comes to coping with adversity,
You can't compare last year's Champions League.
Last 2 seasons, we did not have the level of injuries that we had this season, and we've had to cope with. Also, on top of that, Liverpool having the gap that they have at this moment in time makes it seem so much worse than last season because the title race was a lot closer. But the reality situation is, fair play to Liverpool. They have been better than what we have been this season. But Arsenal, at the end of the day, context matters, and I think to say it's gone backwards is the wrong terminology.
Sorry,
context.
Guys, sorry, man. So would you say, finishing second 2 seasons in a row, the third season would be the one where you go for it? So, like my brother, bottom left Chelsea guy, he actually said like it does come down to recruitment as well, which you don't like to acknowledge. It doesn't. Let's forget about recruitment, but we all saw this coming, bro. Like everyone saw this coming.
No, but you guys don't like to acknowledge injuries. So
it's the nearly men. You were nearly there all the time.
Hold on.
Yeah, but as Gary Neville said,
remember, everybody has injuries. So why is it the same? When it comes to other clubs and their injuries and when they underperform, everybody likes to ignore. But when it's Arsenal, we should just forget it.
No, nobody's.
Facts. No, but bro, like if you lost the cup final. Yeah, no one remembers in history that you didn't have your goal scorer or you didn't have, bro. No one remembers that. It's just getting the job done. You have to win.
People remember John Terry.
This season was your season ago.
People remember guys getting injured before cup finals and the team still doing well. People remember when.
But this season was supposed to be Arsenal's season. I think the whole league can agree with me. Every fan can agree with me. This season was supposed to be Arsenal's season.
No, Marwan. If Man City fell off, this was meant to be Arsenal's season.
Yes,
that's the key bit.
Guys, explain to me how Arsenal have gone backwards. What do you?
Okay, let me explain to you, bro. Let me explain to you. So your fans, bro. Half my family are Arsenal fans. Guys, just let me give you some context. I'm one of that. I'm three cousins with Man United. The rest are all Arsenal. And I've coached for Arsenal. I've played for Arsenal. I've played for Chelsea. I've coached for Chelsea. Is what it is. It's tribal. It's football. But bro, like, ain't no one sitting there being like, oh well, the reason why Arsenal didn't win the league is because, their players were injured and. The reason why they've got injuries is because their star players got out. No, bro, you didn't invest in the summer, and I don't like to keep going back to that. You didn't invest in the summer, and now you're in this situation. But you've bottled it, and you've always bottled it. So at this point, it's like you bottled it when it was your 1 year. Look, my whole family, you know what they said to me this season? They said, "Marwan, when Pep leaves, we're gonna win a league. We're the closest to. We finished second twice, so that means when Pep leaves, we are gonna win a league." Bro, Klopp's come in and slapped your fucking
best teams in Europe.
Slapped your face, bro. Let
me hear from my brother. He's gonna have to leave soon. Also, talk to me. What are you saying, Wolfie? Do you think you're saying Arsenal have gone backwards? But give me something.
You have.
You're saying. And why is it that injuries don't matter in this factor when we're talking about it?
The reason injuries, no, it's not that injuries don't matter. It's the fact that injuries happen, full stop. And the fact that unless you're going to tell me as an Arsenal fan, you started here at the start of the season and said, barring injuries, we should win the league. Because I didn't hear a single Arsenal fan say that. I didn't hear any fan say that. I didn't hear Man City fans say, barring Rodri not getting injured, we should still win the league. Man City have had a bad season. Forget the Rodri injury. They should still have had enough to win this league without Rodri. Okay, so you can't sit here and say because of injuries we lost it, because injuries is across the board. Whether it's your best player or your worst player that get injured, it doesn't matter. Injuries happen in every single team. That's the starting point. 2, reduce the impact of injuries. That's why you have, as Marwan was saying, that's why you have a good summer transfer window. And that's why if you haven't had a good summer transfer window and you find yourself in January just losing Saka, your best player by a country mile, that you then don't go and improve your squad in January just to plaster it up a little bit. So you can't use the excuse of injuries if you ignored the injuries you had. You picked up, Saka was injured before the transfer window started, and then Havertz got injured just after it closed or around the time it closed. Therefore, poor planning again. The reason Arsenal can't use injury excuses is because of poor planning and they ignored the January window. And that's it, khalas, man. If you had gone and strengthened in that January window, maybe you have a striker. You were meant to get Watkins, I keep hearing. You're meant to be linked to Sesko, I keep hearing. Gyökeres, all these strikers, man. If I'm an Arsenal fan, it does my head in. I wouldn't turn on over the summer to any kind of transfer links until I see first day of the season, who the hell's coming onto this pitch? Because I don't know what I would believe. Are you getting Sesko? Are you getting Gyökeres? Are you getting Ollie Watkins? Are you getting Zubimendi, which was a done deal? All these things that you hear, man. There's so much PR being spun with this club. I used to enjoy watching Arsenal back in the day when they were, the Henry days and everything, because you respect
Henry, Vieira, Perez.
Oh, you respect it. You as a Man U fan, you were their challengers. But I bet you had respect for that team.
Oh, respect, bro.
And that team wouldn't sit there and say, oh no, Petit's out for 2 months, man. That's it. Let's give the title back.
Yeah, no, that was non-existent. 100%. That was non-existent.
You found a way.
Sorry, brother.
That's the difference.
Give me a sec.
So that's why. So have you regressed? Yes, you have, because you cannot say we haven't regressed because of this reason, and then if you take this reason out and then add this jigsaw piece and whatever. Bottom line is, you will be remembered for where you finished, how you finished, etc. You haven't won the league in a season where you finished above Man City, and there was another team, at least one other team that finished ahead of you. That's the BL and end all. The history books don't have paragraphs that you can just fill in, man. They have headlines.
Could I love that. They don't have paragraphs. They have headlines, bro.
Marwan.
Sana, hey.
Brother, Marwan, please, let me respond. Arsenal haven't gone backwards if we win the Champions League. Arsenal haven't gone backwards if we win the Champions League.
That's a big if.
Arsenal get to a Champions League final.
Oh, bro, you get to the Champions League final. It's game.
Arsenal,
he's right.
Arsenal win the Champions League, or Arsenal get to the Champions League final. We've improved from last season.
No
facts.
No,
facts.
You get to the final, you haven't won it.
No, bro. If they finish second in the Premier League and get to the final, and fair enough, not win it. If they win it. Everybody better. We all know.
If they win it,
they've done it.
If we win it, it's a step forward. If we don't win
forward. No. This is like, bro, you ever play Monopoly, bro? Where it's like go to jail and then you get out of jail and you go straight to the start and collect 200. Bro, it's that. It's like you just collected 200 plus.
Bro, please let me respond. I beg. My thing is, I feel like the whole backwards thing is we're fighting over semantics about which wording to use about this, describing this season at Arsenal. The reason why I don't want to describe it as backwards, I don't view this season as a failure yet. I still think there's success that can be had. On top of that,
I hear it. No, he's in the Champions League, bro. They just beat Real Madrid 3-0. I hear it.
On top of that, the league position, even if we finish second again, at best it's stagnation. At worst, it's stagnation. It's not.
I hear it. No, you know what, bro? Like,
finish fourth, third. If Nottingham Forest and Man City finish above us, or Chelsea, then it's a conversation about backwards. But bro, at this point, when we're focused on the Champions League and we're trying to
Yeah. No,
get
I
the
hear it.
Champions League, for people to come out after we drew 1-1 versus Brentford and be like Arsenal have gone backwards.
Gary, you're misquoting him and
Out of
us.
context.
You've asked us in the context of what Gary Neville said, is he right? In his context, he said, if you don't win the Champions League. So don't miss out
If
that point.
Arsenal don't win the Champions League, but at this moment in time, I'm saying we have had a season where we've had injuries and we've dealt with it better than we've done in the past in the Champions League. In the league, we're still second, and I know it's not massive improvement from
You
last
still have
year.
the FA Cup. You still have the League Cup.
I'm not saying Arsenal. I'm not saying Arsenal.
You still could have won the Premier League.
I'm not saying Arsenal have gone backwards. I'm saying Arsenal at worst have stagnated. At worst, because our defense is still as good. Our attack has gone backwards. Maybe if you want to say anything's gone backwards, is our attack, and that's mainly due to injuries.
Listen, the only two injuries the only injuries I'm hearing is Saka and Odegaard. Because one
I hear it. I hear it.
And Gabriel. Jesus is always.
It's not gone backwards. Again, you're right. It's not gone back.
So when Chelsea get injuries, I don't want to hear you mentioning Malagusto and Reece James.
Hold on, but Reece James was chronically out, and you guys have been chastising him for being out for the past 4 years. I don't want to hear it. Everybody brings up Reece James' injury record every season since we won the Champions League. Why? Because he hasn't been there to help us maintain our level.
Way when
but bro, he's still the best right back out of all of them. He's still the best right back out of all of them.
Since every season he's been injured. Jesus has never finished a full season.
Hey, bro, I don't know how much more time Wolfie has, but Wolfie, you have time to talk Chelsea also?
Yeah, 2-3 minutes, bro.
Wolfie, let's go in. Let's go in on Chelsea, bro.
Bro, Chelsea?
Yalla. Let's go.
That's it.
You guys had a chance to get a stranglehold over top 4 once again. And what do you guys do?
Top 5, brother. We're going
top
to the
5.
champs.
Yeah, thank us for that.
Remember, no, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I watched your performance today. I watched the whole game.
It was poor.
I don't know what the fuck you lot are missing. Yeah, all of you Chelsea fans are to blame Sancho, bro. Jackson, bro. You see Jackson? If I was a player, I would give him a slap Everest style, bro. Like it's like I don't know what the fuck this guy thinks he's doing on the pitch, bro.
Let me tell you.
All of my friends are Chelsea fans as well.
He's the best, worst striker I've ever seen in my life outside of.
No, but bro, when I watch it,
he's the best, worst striker I've ever seen. You know why? At the end of every season, you bring up his numbers.
It's no heart, bro. You don't play with no heart. When I watch Jackson, like you're sitting there complaining to the ref, you're talking like you're not like grabbing a ball and making a goal, like just making something happen, like being collective. Like I watched him today, and I was like, "You little bum, bro! You're watching Hoyland."
Wasting energy on Jackson because Jackson ain't good enough, in my opinion. He's never been good enough for me.
All right, cool. Chat on Sancho and chat on Palmer because Palmer had a good game. But
at the end of the season, you're gonna look.
I don't think you realize it, but you're overcutting him. Let him finish.
Bro, I'm on my phone. My laptop's not working, so yeah.
I'll go jump into my stream, boys.
Tell me, shut up.
Good to see you.
Do you have something to say about Chelsea?
Son, love.
Chelsea are done, man. That's it. This was the only game you had that was you would look at it and say this is definitely you would make Chelsea 100% favourites for. The rest of them, you got Fulham away, West London derby, trouble. Everton at home, trust me, tough game. You've then got Liverpool, Newcastle away. Man U's always tough for Chelsea, and then us. Khalas, enjoy Europa or Conference League. Big up, guys. I'll see you later. I gotta jump over to my stream. Make sure everyone in the chat is liking this video. And yeah, I'll catch up with you always later. Mike,
that right there is a good signing out. Bias, what do you got to say? Europa League or Conference League? That's what's going to be next season.
Listen, brother, we're getting champs. At the very least, we're doing Europa League. And the thing is, it's not. I said at the very least, it's Europa League.
Bro, you might not even win the Europa Conference, bro.
What? We're the favorites.
You might not win that.
We're gonna win it. It's no. If Chelsea gets to the final, we'll win. If Chelsea get to the final, we'll win. If Chelsea get to the Europa Conference League final, we'll win the trophy.
They're gonna probably win that.
It's that easy. But the thing with it is this for me. Nicholas Jackson, at the end of the season, you're going to look at these numbers. You're going to wonder, how the fuck did he get these type of numbers? And it's
Mostly first half.
I can tell you how.
It's going to be
No,
sad.
I go. Let me tell him how. This is how Jackson gets these goals. Stamford Bridge, I've played on that pitch about 7 or 8 times. Bro, I've won trophies on Stamford Bridge, the ground. I've played on that pitch, bro, multiple times. It's a small pitch. And I'll be real, bro. Like, I expected Sancho and Enzo and all of them not to be doing really well on that pitch.
But Enzo's doing well.
Enzo has been one of their best players, to be fair.
This has been
But
one of our
Enzo,
best players this season.
Yo, my bro, like I said in the beginning, bro, this is mad, but I said I would rather Enzo over Bruno. I said this about 2 years ago, and
It was beautiful. He's a beautiful player to watch.
no, he is. He fucking is, bro. The way you got Caicedo running around the pitch and you got Palmer coming, it's just all a mess. It's similar to United, bro. It's all a mess, but you've got the players.
It's a mess, but the thing is, if you look at the players that we have, you expect better because of the names, not necessarily the length of football. These guys have played a certain amount of football. The football lifespan, some of these players, it's not to where the level is. It's needed. It's not to where it's needed.
It's nowhere near where you need to be needed, bro. My brother, did you see the camera shot when Jackson was about to get taken off and he was like what? Like, why are you taking me off?
Because he's not good.
So he's got that confidence in his head.
He's in it. That's exactly. But your head is not the. Your head is not the. Your head. What you are in your mind. If you can't put it out there and show it, it makes no sense to complain. When he was doing God, when he was calling out, when he was calling out Obi Mikel at the beginning of the season.
I don't know if you can hear him, but
we need that.
Let him completely.
When he was calling out John Obi Mikel at the beginning of the year, when he was calling out John Obi Mikel at the beginning of the year and was scoring and all of that, he's not doing that now. So he should shut up and get off the pitch. I'm not going to criticize. I criticize the board for not giving us stronger striking options. Nkunku, at the beginning of the season, I said, you know what, let's just play him up top and see how it goes.
He sold João Felix.
He has not been able to replicate any form that he has in the cup competitions playing up top when it comes to playing.
But he's a top striker, bro. Jackson, I guarantee you, if Jackson joins Arsenal, top striker, bro, he's getting goals.
The difference is Jackson's
not a top striker. What the fuck are you talking about?
No. Jackson, hey, bro, I guarantee you, Jackson at Arsenal, someone who can finish, someone who's good on the ball.
He can't finish.
Give me a sec. Someone who's good on the ball, but he gives me like a 60% Martial.
He's lost. You're lost.
No, he's not, man.
He's not it. Nkunku.
Bro, I've got Højlund up front. So surely you can understand where I'm coming from. Like
Jackson. And it's a mid-off.
Jackson over Jackson over Højlund for sure.
Listen, let me just get this off. Eagle knows I've been critical of Cole Palmer since day one.
Why?
Day one.
Why?
Because I never understood spending $45 million on a player who's played less than 10 games.
Okay, let me counteract that, my brother.
I beg you, you're cutting him off every 2 sentences.
Mason Mount, 55 mil.
Let me get this
off. Counteract. Bro, come on.
Let me just get this off. When he did what he did last season, I came on stream and I said, yo, I held my hands up. You did excellent. But next season, when guys are marking you from deep, game planning for your style of play, and you need to learn how to beat him and create something when you're marked, what are you going to do? Earlier in the season, he was having his time. Once people saw how Curtis Jones marked him out the game, once people saw how Arsenal played him out the game, once people saw how even Forest got him out the game, what happened after that? Everybody's been doing the same thing. He hasn't been able to raise his game. Letting João Felix go on loan was poor in my opinion, because that's a player that can play forward. play Palmer's position and offer something different. But guess what? It's almost like he's immune to getting subbed off because of what he did last season. He's still young. I understand letting him play through things, but when you're a main part of our game and you're a detriment to the team going forward, you need to come off and let somebody who can offer something different do that. And Kunku's not gotten that much of that opportunity for me. Felix practically was the one who get closer, but still not enough. Palmer's name need to be raised 100%. Jadon Sancho, I don't believe in blaming lone players because when Sancho was assisting on a week-to-week basis, the same fans calling him shit now were the ones praising him back then and saying thank you, Manchester United. I think it's poor. He should shoot. Being less aggressive is what's causing all of this. All of it.
Bro, today is very interesting, man. We got Jay in the
Bro,
building.
big
Welcome,
up, by
Jay.
the way. I agree with everything you just said. Big up.
Jay, welcome. We were just talking about
Jay,
Chelsea.
Tottenham.
We're gonna talk about Tottenham in a second, but before we talk about Tottenham,
relax like you didn't get slapped by Harvey Barnes and them, man. God.
I beg. Wallahi, Wallahi, I don't know what's going on with your thing today, but you've been cutting off people every 2 sentences. Please let me
No, bro, it's just
there's a mad delay. I get it. Chelsea, I don't think you're gonna get top 4. I think it's over.
Oh no,
I think Chelsea needs
finishing 5th.
Chelsea the comfortable top 4, top 5 battle that you thought you were going to have a couple of weeks ago is no longer going to happen. If you're dropping points in games like this against Ipswich, you need to go and win a lot of these games. The pressure is on, and I just don't know if these guys are going to be capable of doing it in the league. Newcastle are a better team than Chelsea. Shout out to Jay. He said it in the past, and I agree with it right now again. Also, not only is Newcastle a better team, Aston Villa is a better team right now. Not only is Aston Villa a better team, you got Man City who's a better team right now. I think it's between you and Forest, between who finishes in that final spot, and Aston Villa. I think Man City and Newcastle are going to be solidified.
I do think Chelsea can get ahead of Forest. Forest is 50. They've done a good job, but do you remember Leicester a few seasons ago when Leicester were like in top 4 the whole season, and then it got to the like final couple of weeks, and then they fell out of it. I watched quite a bit of that Everton Forest game, and Everton well deserved the win, you know. And this, I think, Forest have good players, but it's, you know, Europa League spot would still be great for Forest. I'm just like, I don't think they're gonna have to be very consistent over the next few games. Like, you know, I think for Forest, 4 wins probably does it for them. I think they need to win 4 out of the remaining 6, and they'll probably make it.
Fair. I think Chelsea don't make it. I think Newcastle is better than them. Let me show you the actual top 4, top 5 right now. What is it? Let me pull it up 1 second. Here. So this is currently the table, and Newcastle are in 4th with a game in hand on everybody. So safe to say Newcastle is going to be comfy, and they got some easy games. I think Man City is going to be easy. What's going on with there's a background noise?
I don't think it's M's.
Sorry, my wife's cooking. I'll put it on mute.
Yeah, just mute yourself. So yeah, this is the situation. Arsenal, Liverpool, Newcastle, I think is going to be the top 3. Then Man City 4th, and the 5th spot is going to be between Forest, Aston Villa, and Chelsea. And that's where I think Aston Villa, being in the Champions League and FA Cup, they will finish outside of that group, and Nottingham Forest and Chelsea will fight it out. And I think Chelsea have a less inconsistent. Chelsea have a worse defense, and Chelsea have a better attack. So we'll see what happens. But
just on Chelsea though, we go quickly was that like I was looking at their fixtures, and this game I was like, this is a gimme for Chelsea. You know what I mean? I was actually looking at this game, and I was looking at the games they've got coming up, and I was like, oh, they've got a lot tougher games coming up. But this game I looked at, and I was like, oh, they're definitely going to win this game.
Fulham, Everton.
It's Fulham away. They got Fulham away next, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so
London Derby.
that's a tough game. Then it's Everton. Is it home or away? Home.
Home.
But then they got another tricky away game after that.
Newcastle.
Newcastle away, and then so
Forest.
like and then
This could be a top 4 decider, the final game of the season.
Yeah, that's probably what it's going to be. To be fair,
And it's away at Forest, where they've taken everyone to the sword.
So, yeah, no, it'll be interesting to see how it plays
If Chelsea
out.
need a win versus Forest on the final day of the season, I don't back Chelsea to do it.
I actually arguably think they might do it if that's the situation. Do you know what I mean? As in, like, I think they're better than. They're not better than Forest, but they are better than Forest. Do you know what I mean? Like, obviously, they're not better, but they are kind of better.
All right, Jay, we got to talk about Tottenham. It's time.
Yes.
Let's get into it. And we need you to confess the truth this season about what's going on. I know you usually only say these things and reserve it to your Tottenham spaces, but we need to know the truth, bro. How do you really feel about the season? How do you really feel about Ange? How does it really feel to be in the bottom half of the table for the majority of the season? At this point, it's not even banter; it's reality. And
is
I'm not here.
Is that why you're using this serious tone with me?
Yeah, bro. The day today, Wolves beat you 4-2 is like, what's the point of even going to the games if you're a match-going fan? Like, this is the team doesn't even show up.
Yes. So, yeah, man, it's been a very poor season, like an incredibly bad season. I think I've got post-traumatic stress disorder, because it's not really hitting me where we are in the league, really. So I think I'm in some sort of mental trance for it, because I thought we could go into the season. I was even thinking mentally, oh, we could close the gap on the top 3. Like, we should be trying to finish 4th or 5th. Maybe we can finish at like 6th if things go badly. But like, I had us as a top 6 side. So I think the thing for me is we're very soft. The soft underbelly to our team has returned. And under Conte, we kind of had some grit about us again. And then we kind of lost it again. And it's we're very soft to play. Like, we could play well for like 20, 30 minutes, but teams don't need to play that well to beat us. That's the most damning thing that I can say about Spurs. Teams will
They could have a good 45 minutes.
Well, they don't even need a good point. They need a good 15 minutes and they can win. You see what I mean? Like, and it started first game of the season, Leicester away. We played well for maybe an hour. Leicester come back into the game, have a good 15-minute spell. They draw 1-1. Same Newcastle away, lost 2-1. Played well in the game, 1-1. And then concede a soft goal to Newcastle. So all season, it's been that. And then the underlying performances were quite good until they weren't. You got to look at stuff like Spurs have scored, I think, the second most goals in the league. Again, I think second most goals in the league Spurs have scored.
Have you?
Yeah, I think so.
No way.
I think so.
That's crazy. Go ahead. How do you have the second most goals? You're 60 goals. Man City have 62. So you're probably third.
Third.
Yeah, third. Third most goals in the league, and you're in 15th.
Third most goals in the league. So that tells you that this squad has goals in them. They're capable of scoring goals.
You're the 5th worst defense in the league, or 6th worst defense.
So I think but the patterns of play when I watch us play, I actually think the players are good. The more I watch us, I'm like, I don't see the patterns that I used to see. I don't see the pressing that we used to see. Like, I feel like Ange knows that the version of what he wanted to do, it ran into obstacles because of injuries, player form, his tactical ability. So he starts tweaking it, starts changing it. I don't think anyone can come back from this amount of defeats I think I go into every game, and every game seems fucking impossible. And I know the Premier League is hard, but like today, concede 4 goals to Wolves. Lost to Fulham. It almost feels like there's no game away from home. Definitely, like terrible, so bad away from home. There's no game I go into away from
Jay,
home.
I'm gonna just quickly pivot away from the Premier League. On Thursday, in the Europa League, if you lose to Frankfurt, is he gone the next day?
It depends on the nature of the defeat.
If you lose 2-1 to Frankfurt, you're not winning any trophies. Season's over.
I think he'll just keep his job till the end of the season because there'll be no.
What's the point?
Yeah, because it's just from a point of view of like just make the change at the end of the season. He'd be a bit of a dead man walking, but it's almost like if you're going to do an evaluation, I do think it's very plausible if we get beaten handily or we lose badly to Frankfurt, then
how bad do you have to lose to Frankfurt for him to get sacked the next day?
I'd say by 2 or 3 goals.
So you lose 3-1. He's sacked the next day.
4-1, yeah. If we lose 4-1, he's sacked the next day. 3-1, I'm not sure.
He needs to lose by a 3-goal deficit in the Champions League, and get knocked out for you guys to get him sacked.
Yeah, I mean I feel like we're getting.
I feel like it's already untenable.
Yeah, I think we're getting to a point now where some people it's insane that it's funny because some Spurs fans will be like, and we want to win trophies, blah blah blah. But if Ange wins the Europa, there's a number of Spurs fans I've spoken to who will be like, I'd still sack him.
Bro, I would have already sacked him.
That's my point. But
I'm a guy who backs a manager in Arteta to the end of the hill. But the reason why I back him, the reason why I back Arteta, I see visible signs of where we have gone wrong, and it doesn't come back to him.
Yeah,
I look at Tottenham, and Ange seems like he's in denial of issues that you guys have on the pitch. On-field issues you guys have. Ange Postecoglou seems like he's in denial of.
So the thing is that, I think there's some similarities with Arteta's second season, but the similarities stop, I think, in terms of, it's a good point that you just made then. I think even when Arsenal were doing really badly, there was the way Arteta spoke at the time, was very much very rarely I can't really remember Arteta at the time being like, we played well when you played badly or anything like. He wasn't really.
Even when we won, he would say we played bad.
Yeah, so it's but I think there's 80%, 85%, 90% of Arsenal fans would have sacked Arteta in the second season.
I don't think 80. Maybe
80 definitely, mate. Listen, 100%.
It's a minority. It was always a minority.
No, because you were deep in the bottom. Do you remember you beat Chelsea, and that was a big win, and he started playing Smith Rowe and stuff like that, and there was something. It was just before Christmas or something. Things got a little bit better, but
when we started Project Youth.
Yeah, but there's a lot of people up to that point that were very.
I think what you need to realize is there's more fans online that are willing to voice their opinion about manager sacking than actually in
but you also had COVID, mate. So also that's what you had.
COVID made a big difference.
Yeah, COVID made a big difference because the fan base might have been super toxic.
It was
in the stadium, and that could have forced their hands. So,
but this is worse.
This is much worse than what Arsenal did. But I think as well,
you have more defeats than wins in the league.
That's crazy. And I don't think, for me, it's I'm starting to, the players, to me, I'm almost I don't know, it just feels when you're watching us, the players.
Bro, you could win every game for the remainder of the season and still have more defeats than wins.
Yeah, exactly. So it's just been one of those seasons.
17 losses, Relegation
know.
team in Ipswich has 2 less losses than you.
Yeah, I know. And Ipswich also
mean-
put up a better.
I mean,
put up a
2
better
more
perfor-
losses than you. That's
Ipswich-
nuts.
Ipswich also put up a better performance against Chelsea than we did as well, actually.
Jay,
But yeah,
I think you're a very positive guy, but the man's a dead man walking. Everyone knows it. Even if you guys win, even if you don't win, whatever happens, he's going. And I think for his own mental health, he's kind of checked out. It's almost like he's just there. It's a paycheck now.
I actually think he's actually fighting a little bit. Actually, like considering he is a bit of a dead man walking, it seems. Then he's still a bit spicy in the interviews. Considering, like, do you know what I mean? Like, considering
I think that's even worse because he's losing his head with fans. He's losing his head. It shows that he does not have the self-control and the understanding that if you bite, they're going to continue to come back at you. If you bite, they're going to continue to come at you. Just because you give it to the media doesn't mean they're now going to sit back and be like, oh, he's scary. Let's not talk to him. No, you have to earn the respect from the media. If you disrespect the media, they're going to disrespect you worse.
No, absolutely. Listen, I'm saying that, like, if you look at it from the point of view of saying everyone likes you when you're a
the new guy on the
charismatic
block.
manager. Yeah, but no, when you're a charismatic manager or you have a good chat, they'll like you at the beginning, but they'll always turn on you. What's it they say in Batman? You either die a hero or live long enough to become the villain. Happens with every manager. Like everyone will always like the way they talk, the way they come across, the way. And I think with
Unless
Ange,
you win trophies.
but it's the second season, and I'm like, I call it. I think my friends, some of my friends have always said Ange is a fraud. Like one of my friends says, and I remember he says it. He says to me, Ange is a fraud, and he's fluked his way to Spurs. Like he himself probably can't believe it. And I always think about him saying that, and I think it's unfair. But then I also think about stuff like, I think like Gerrard, for example, right? And I do think Ange is a better manager than Gerrard, yeah. But if you think about Gerrard when he went to say Aston Villa, and he started well, and then he dropped off, and then I do think Ange is a good coach, and I did genuinely think he was the right coach for us to go for, because if you're going to try and transition from the style of football that Spurs were playing into this modern style, at least Ange has a good backbone. He's got a bit of personality. He helps that transition across. But then you also see now why he was behind people like Slot and Alonso and managers like that who were preferred to him, but we couldn't get. So I just think looking at it now, when I see Spurs scoring that many goals obviously the players are good. If you're the third highest goal scorers in the league, yeah. And when you watch Spurs, we don't even look like we're attacking crazily, do we? It's not like when you're watching us, do we look like we're throwing all our men forward or like it's all out attack? Not really. Do you know what I mean? So it makes me think, okay, it's somewhat sustainable, the goal level, but surely we can dramatically drop that goals conceded. And it's just the thing about Spurs fans, not fans, the team, sorry, is people used to say there's no accountability. Yeah. Like Spurs players could play badly, turn up, multi-millionaires, enjoy life. Cool. Now, the issue is, right, now there's even less accountability because what we've got now is like the way Ange was, I genuinely think it's almost like the inmates are running the asylum because you've got players. I've heard Van der Ven, oh, Real Madrid, so I'd love to play for Real Madrid. Real Madrid. Listen, players can have dreams, aspirations, whatever. But it's like it's like everyone thinks it's someone else's fault. Yeah? Like everyone's looking around at each other and it's like it's someone else's fault as to why we're here. Like none of the players are taking whole soul accountability. When they only look at Bergvall, when you watch Bergvall play, he is a player that is trying to take responsibility. That's what taking responsibility looks like. Yeah? He doesn't have the whole skill set and he's not perfect yet. But that's what he does. Yeah? Like that's what we're looking for from players. And if you look at the rest of the players, they're hiding. These players are hiding, and that's the problem. All these players are going to go home. It's we're 15th, 16th. I don't know. I haven't looked at the league table down there for a while.
16th, I think.
How long? What?
You're 15th.
15th. Beautiful.
But you lost to 16th in the league, Wolves, today.
And they're only 2 points behind. I think it's very possible. I think it's very reasonable to think that Wolves will finish above us.
It's crazy.
So this is what I'm trying to say.
You think West Ham could finish above you?
No, they suck. They're terrible. But the whole thing is, everyone at Spurs needs to take accountability, including the fans.
You're the only person in your area of the league with a positive goal difference.
That's what I'm trying to say. But the board, the manager, the players, the fans, you know, like, everyone's just got to take some accountability. Like, atmospheres are terrible a lot of the time. It's obviously not a great atmosphere for these players to be playing, but the players need to take accountability because the atmosphere is terrible because the fans are being served shit and they're not enjoying what they're watching. And paying customers are entitled to vent their upset, but by the same token, if you're just venting you're upset, how does that create a good environment for the team to perform? So then it becomes a chicken and the egg scenario. Do the fans big up the team, or do the team big up the players, the fans? So it's all very much, I'm just very much like, all right, cool. Everyone's losing their mind. You can't take anything a Spurs fan takes too seriously at the moment because...
Let me ask you one more thing before you move on.
Sure.
Vinai came into your team. Vinai.
Oh, yeah. Nice. I'm looking forward to it, actually.
Is this an opportunity to try to get some of the brain trust of people who are working at Arsenal to see what we did right?
No. I think there's, if you have somebody that has a proven framework of what did he do at Arsenal? Help take a team that had fallen off back to the top of the league, yeah, which will probably be his remit at Spurs. You know, like
I'll keep it real. Vinai didn't really have a big role on anything on field.
How did he not have a big role? Did he not hire Edu? Did he not hire Arteta?
No, Edu was hired. Edu was hired by Raul. Arteta was brought in with Edu and Vinai.
Yeah, okay. So when did Vinny? But Vinny's had different roles in the company. So he was your CEO for how long?
A year and 2-3 years. How many years?
Okay, so but obviously you went while he was CEO. That's when you started finishing second.
Yes, but also
So the most successful period of your time over the last few years happened while he was CEO.
Yeah. So he's been at the club, by the way, for a long time, if I'm not mistaken. I was just looking. I'm just looking at his LinkedIn right now. He works his way up. He's been at Arsenal for 14 years.
Exactly. And when did he start?
He became chief commercial operator in 2014 to 2018. He became chief executive officer in 2020. So post-COVID. So pre-COVID actually. No, post-COVID.
Yeah.
Post-COVID.
So
COVID happened in January, April, right?
So, yeah, and so obviously if he's in charge of all on and off-field football, which is I'm assuming the remit that his role at Arsenal too, then you have to give him the credit of being the one who oversaw your growth back to second.
His role was basically.
Hey, listen, listen. He's not the one scouting the players and this, but it's under. He's the CEO. It was under his hand, his leadership. You can't downplay. You can downplay all you want. It doesn't mean that we're going to.
What he has experiences in is all commercial matters, broadcasting, digital.
Bro, he's in charge. Bro, he's in charge. He's in charge of all football operations at Arsenal. That's what his job was.
Yeah. I'm literally about to go through the list. All commercial operation matters, sporting matters, he was in charge of, right? But in the sporting matters section, he actually took a hands-off approach from the actual sporting section, and he was more dealing with the commercial and the operational side, making sure our medical facilities improve. Making sure
that's that. Well, look, what's our medical situation been like this year?
What?
What's our medical situation been like this year?
I don't know. His role,
Terrible.
the biggest parts that he did, from what I know, is the physical conditioning, the psychological, the nutrition, rehabilitation, and psychotherapy, improving that.
That all sounds like stuff that Spurs desperately need.
Yeah, that's what he did for the on-field people. Everything
Well,
else was commercial.
That's fine, because everything you just mentioned there, Spurs are in dire need of.
Yeah, but a lot of people who support Arsenal were saying Vinai is useless. I think Vinai was never really had a major impact on the on-field decision making at all. He was just another seat at the table. And
Maybe, but potentially that's just confirmation bias. I don't know. So I'm not going to say you're wrong, and I'm not going to say you're right. All I'm going to say is that he had the right people in the right roles for Arsenal to grow as a football club. Yeah. So at the very least, he did that. He had the right people in the right roles that helped your team grow. Yeah. So, like, that's what he did. I don't think anyone can argue that. Like, I'd like to think that's pretty much an undeniable fact. Now, whether or not he can duplicate that at Spurs, whether or not he inherited a framework that made him successful, whether there's lots of miscellaneous factors that one can consider or not consider, but above all, I'm just going to say that the logic for me is he's a proven CEO who has helped put Arsenal back on track, and he's got contacts. He obviously must be pretty good at what he does. Newcastle wanted him as well, didn't they?
We're gonna have to actually wrap it up. I was just gonna say, since Vader's not here, we're not gonna really mention too much about Man City. Good comeback from Kevin De Bruyne and the team, though.
Yeah, he played really well. That's probably the best he's been in
5-2. Somebody said to me they're sad Kevin De Bruyne is leaving. I'm like, I'm not sad. It's just when somebody beats on everybody in the league for so long, you can't be sad when they leave. But like,
I this is so funny, but it's so random. I haven't really seen anyone say it yet, but if you're Arsenal, surely you make a bid for him.
What?
Why not?
As rotation?
I mean, if he was willing to come on like a 2-year contract, would you not?
You're saying Arsenal should make a bid for Kevin De Bruyne on a 2-year deal?
Yeah, why not?
What would he bring?
Are you fucking dumb? What the fuck are you talking about? What would he bring?
Is he not finished? Why is he not staying at Man City then?
Just because City didn't. Do you remember when AC Milan didn't offer Pirlo a new contract and he went to Juventus and balled out for another 3 years? Clubs make mistakes.
I'm looking at Arda Güler. I could get Kevin De Bruyne on a 2-year deal.
I mean, he's worked with Arteta before. I mean, ask the question.
My head.
You're losing. You're losing Jorginho. Could do with the experience. I don't know if he'd go. No one's definitively told me.
No, but why wouldn't he go to the MLS or to the Saudi league for?
He might. That's what I'm just saying. Like, if I'm Arsenal, like, needle moving 10. Why not?
Would he though? Would he join Arsenal?
I don't know. Probably not. Probably won't. But you've got to understand that even the narrative coming out at the moment is City didn't want to re-sign him. It's not Kevin wanted to go. So any decision that he makes would be justifiable based off the fact that City are the ones that told him.
We did want Gundogan. We did want to give Gundogan.
That's my point. You wanted Gundogan when he was going on a free.
I've never thought about it. Now that I'm thinking about it,
anybody mention it?
Now that I'm thinking about it, does the Arsenal fans, people in the chat, let me know. Do you guys think it makes sense? Oh my God, bro! I've never thought about that. It's actually a crazy idea.
You probably won't get him or anything, but I mean, if I would definitely be in for him if I was you. Why not?
Who else could get him?
Just MLS, I think. I think MLS or Saudi. I think he's into Miami, maybe. I think go KDB and Messi is something that I need in my life. It's something I
All
need
right,
to see.
let's do the pros and cons. So the pros is he's obviously Premier League proven. He has the experience and he's world class on his day. He has the leadership. He's won major honors. Short term boost to the squad. Amazing for like big
Yeah.
pros right there. But then age, fitness, how much
Probably
would he
block-
cost
probably
wages
block-
wise?
Yeah, probably block Ethan's pathway centrally.
Yeah,
If you-
the rivalry factor also. Would you still join?
Maybe. Like
Okay,
I said, I'm not
so
I'm just looking at it from the point of view.
would
of
he
saying,
come to Arsenal on a 2-year deal, taking less money than he would make at MLS or Saudi?
I mean, that's the point. Maybe not, but like if you guys slapped a 270 contract down, 2 year, 2
Why
year,
would we?
270. Why? Because
270.
Kevin De Bruyne.
No, but why would he accept 270 when he can get $500,000?
Oh right, because maybe he wants to still play at the highest level. You never know.
He's a Man City legend. Regardless if he comes to Arsenal and wins a couple of trophies, would they still disown him? Probably not.
No, because it wasn't his choice to leave City. It was theirs. Like when Fabregas went to Chelsea,
Bro, I think if he comes to Arsenal, he probably starts over Odegaard.
he might start with him.
Yeah,
KDB,
they could work
Odegaard,
together.
KDB, Odegaard,
Bro,
and Rice.
why you got me thinking about this? This is crazy, All right, yeah, we're gonna wrap it up there. That is nuts. People, have yourself a wonderful day. We'll catch you guys in the next one. Jay, I think you got disconnected there. But guys, love for the love, people. Catch you guys in the next one. Peace out. Peace.
Peace.